situation in the Northwest. A number of new fires have sparked since yesterday, and we have all the details.
Gas service has been restored in Ignis following a weekend incident. We have a report from Adam Riley.
Transport Canada being encouraged to loosen some travel restrictions. We have the details on that. Smoky and sunny skies for parts of the region, and we have NBA and NHL final action to cover. Northwest at noon starts now.
From Lake Superior in Thunder Bay to Lake of the Woods in Kenora and everywhere in between, this is Northwest at noon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. It's going to be another challenging week on the forest fire front with no rain in the forecast.
Yesterday, there were 9 new fires discovered in the Northwest region, bringing the total amount of active fires there to 36.
The biggest of these fires is Sioux Lookout number 7, located near Cat Lake First Nation. That fire has been burning for just over 2 weeks and remains out of control.
2 small fires were recently reported in the Wabakami National Park area, and those 2 are not under control.
Meanwhile, in the northeast, there was some encouraging developments yesterday on the fire near the town of White River, according to Mayor Tara Anderson-Hart.
Update that we got earlier on Sunday said that the large fire, the Wawa 03, is currently being held. They've changed the status from out of control to being held. Definitely no threat to the community. So that's the best news I've had in 2 weeks.
The MNR says there were no new fires yesterday in the Northeast region, which currently has 28 active fires.
And do keep in mind, a restricted fire zone remains in place for the entire province of Ontario.
Staying with wildfires, and Canadian officials say the destruction from the wildfire season is unprecedented.
More than 425 fires are burning across the country, with 210 classified as not under control, and more than 100,000 people have been forced from their homes in 9 provinces.
And Quebec will soon have to have some help from Europe, as 350 firefighters are expected to arrive soon as crews change up their approach to the wildfires there.
Moving on, and a strong message resonated from a pride walk in Fort Frances.
A couple of 100 people joined in a cross-border walk from International Falls to Fort Frances.
Borderland Pride's Doug Judson says the increased hate toward LGBTQ2S+ people shows the need for even stronger voices.
And my challenge to all of you as you leave this place is that you think about how you or your organization or your business could better support queer and trans people and get comfortable being assertive about it.
Judson also applauded the participation of both mayors of both Fort Frances and International Falls.
In Kenora, much of the redevelopment of McLeod Park is complete, with a ribbon-cutting ceremony being held on Friday.
The city's economic development officer, Megan Dacucci, says this is just the first phase of the project.
We do have a second phase of work planned here at McLeod Park, so we're still positioning to try to get all of the project funding together for that.
Dacucci explains the second phase will include the development of an outdoor amphitheater and fixing up the tugboat at the park.
Well, it's time for a check on the weather, and Ginger, sunny skies but smoky conditions, am I right?
Yes, you are, Ben. Smoky conditions in some parts of the Northwest have prompted a special air quality statement for Sioux Lookout and areas southward. This does include Kenora, Sioux Narrows, and Fort Frances. And I do have bad news for anyone looking for relief. Our next chance of showers doesn't come until Friday, but what's the possibility of that? I'll have that in your 7-day outlook coming up. Thanks, Ginger. Gas service has been restored in Ignis following a Saturday incident where a gas line was severed. Here's Acadia Broadcasting's Adam Riley with more.
Workers with a third-party contractor were attempting to install a fiber line in the township of Ignis Saturday evening when they, according to a release from the township, accidentally severed a gas line on Pine Street. No explosions or injuries came as a result of the incident, but it caused gas service disruptions in the community. The line was fully repaired and gas service was restored to all residents by 5 o'clock Sunday evening. Enbridge Gas is currently in the process of helping customers reignite their pilot lights, and if residents were missed in a door-to-door sweep Sunday, they are asked to contact the company to make an appointment. The incident remains under investigation. I'm Adam Riley.
Still ahead, Thunder Bay Police are showcasing new drones to help them in the future.
Plus, Transport Canada is being encouraged to loosen restrictions for pilots in the north.
And the next steps in the foreign interference inquiry following the resignation of David Johnston. We'll be right back.
Milwaukee Day is back at Intercity Industrial this Wednesday only from 8 until 5. The Milwaukee rep is on site for questions and demos. Get the best deal of the year on cordless power tools, including free batteries with purchase, mystery prizes for the first 30 customers, a gift with every Milwaukee purchase, and a ballot for the grand prize package with purchases over $150. See the M18 lawnmower. Get specials on string trimmers and outdoor power equipment and more. Milwaukee Day at Intercity Industrial this Wednesday only, 1533 Kings Highway.
We're buying. Select iCar is buying cars, buying trucks, buying boats, bikes, trailers, anything with wheels. We've even got some things without... Right. We've got $2 million to spend, and we're ready to give you top dollar for your ride. Get an on-the-spot appraisal so you'll know exactly how much cha-ching you're getting. iCar, Memorial at the Harbor Expressway, and selecticar.com. So let's make a deal. If the price is right, stop it.
I sold my car at iCar.
Rona Dryden is your #1 choice in home improvement centers. Let Rona guide your next project with their experienced estimation team and full delivery service team, including boom deliveries. For a wide selection and availability for your building projects, choose Rona Dryden.
Welcome back. There's going to be a new look to the restrooms at Fort Francis High School.
Rainy River District School Board's Heather Campbell says the existing ones are being opened up and replaced with multiple single-use or gender-neutral designs.
What that really means is that there will be privacy, floor-to-ceiling walls with lockable full doors, and that will certainly be welcome for students who, prefer a bit more privacy when using a bathroom.
Each washroom area will include a general washing area, which is visible from the hallway and an accessible bathroom.
Thunder Bay Police have had drones for several years, but now officers are showing off the latest technology available to them.
Acting Traffic Sergeant Tom Armstrong says these new ones are far superior.
The large drone, this Matrice 300, it's the one that has the thermal camera, the spotlight. We'll use it a lot for documenting scenes. It can do a lot of stuff automatically. So we could fly a giant grid, stitch those photos together, and create a mosaic photo of this entire park, and it'll essentially almost do it all on its own with very high resolution.
Armstrong says the zoom is also very helpful in examining crime scenes.
Transport Canada is being encouraged to loosen new flying regulations for pilots. Here's Acadia Broadcasting's Tim Davidson with more.
Our MP Eric Mallow says the new regulations that came into effect just before the new year are having a negative impact in the north. He says the new flight and duty time requirements are already having an impact on airlines which service remote Indigenous communities and the tourism industry. Mallow adds the fly and hunting and fishing lodges and camps, as well as the mining, forestry, and energy sectors are being negatively affected. A letter signed by other Conservative MPs says the companies that provide air services have had to increase the number of pilots by as much as 30% to maintain the same level of service. I'm Tim Davidson.
The regional forecast is brought to you by Marustica Subaru.
Well, the smoke from the ongoing wildfires around the region is sure having an impact in some parts of the area, as we have a special air quality statement in effect for Sioux Lookout down south to Fort Francis. For the rest of the day, that smoke will linger with the sunshine expected with highs near 27. Tonight, the smoke will clear out, giving way to some clear skies for the region with a low of 12. Tomorrow, clouds will be on the increase in the afternoon, but I'm not expecting any showers or storms. We will have a high of 28. Taking a look at the 7-day outlook, Friday carries our only chance of showers for the entire outlook, and that must be bad news for those firefighters looking to take control of those ongoing wildfires around the region. Temperatures will remain in the mid to upper 20s for the duration of the outlook, but there's plenty of sunshine to look forward to. I'll be back with sports in a bit. All right, thanks, Ginger. A traffic note for people in Thunder Bay. Motorists who use William Street between Golf Links Road and Balmoral Street will have to find a new way to navigate through the city for at least the next 5 days.
City officials say they're closing the section of streets to complete necessary repairs on the William Street Bridge, and they will also be closing the multi-use trail beneath the bridge during working hours.
The closure begins today, and motorists are asked to use caution in the area.
Up next, the next steps in the foreign interference inquiry following the resignation of David Johnston.
Plus, the newly elected Fort William First Nations Council is sworn in, and Ginger has sports. Game 5 of the NBA Finals is tonight, and we've got some action from the Thunder Bay Border Cats as well. Northwest at noon, we'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Lakehead Motors.
Affordable. The most affordable name in used vehicles is Lakehead Motors. Our buyers have been focused on value, the best used car value anywhere. Cars, crossovers, SUVs, many under $20,000. All technician tested, reconditioned, and no credit application refused. We have inventory, over 200 plus. See Lakehead Motors for your next used vehicle. Memorial at the Harbor Expressway and lakeheadmotors.com.
Get 11% off great gifts for Dad at Menards. Give the gift that keeps on giving with a new Masterforce XHC high-capacity battery, delivering the power you want in a 20% more compact size. Just $79.99 after rebate. Add a power tool for Dad with a Masterforce 20-volt half-inch hammer drill kit for $119.96 after 11% rebate. Good through June 18th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back. The Intergovernmental Affairs Minister will decide on the next steps into the foreign interference investigation.
This comes after David Johnston's resignation as a special rapporteur.
Dominique LeBlanc says he'll consult with the opposition.
Our hope is that in the coming days we can receive specific suggestions from opposition parties, including the names of individuals they think could be suited to lead this process, suggestions around the terms of reference, the timeline.
LeBlanc says they need to move on this quickly, but the opposition needs to participate in a constructive path forward.
The newly elected Fort Williams First Nation Council was officially sworn in yesterday at a ceremony on Mount McKay.
New Chief Michelle Solomon says having it done in front of the community she represents was a humbling experience.
To be able to come before the people and say thank you for supporting us in this election and for believing in us, in our abilities to lead this community in a good way.
Solomon said that council has already had its first meeting where they outlined what they see as their priorities while in office.
And now, the Sports Report, brought to you by the Power Center.
Nick Taylor of Abbotsford, BC is the Canadian Open champ. He drained a 72-foot putt, beating England's Tommy Fleetwood on the fourth playoff hole. He becomes the first Canadian player to win the Canadian Open since 1954, ending a 69-year drought. The Thunder Bay Border Cats are back at home tonight to face off against the St. Cloud Rocks. That game's get underway at 6:45 p.m. Eastern and begins a lengthy homestand for the Border Cats. Toronto Blue Jays have a day off today after a win over the Minnesota Twins at home 7-6. They start a road trip tomorrow against Baltimore. Elsewhere in the MLB, Baltimore crushed Kansas City 11-3, Tampa Bay won over Texas 7-3, and the Red Sox edged the Yankees 3-2. The Denver Nuggets can pick up their first NBA title on home court tonight in Game 5 of their series for the Miami Heat. The Nuggets lead the series 3-1. And status of Matthew Tkachuk is the biggest question for the Florida Panthers as they head to Las Vegas tomorrow night for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's your sports. Now back to you. Thanks, Ginger. And before we wrap things up, we just want to remind you guys that I, Talking Tom, will be taking a leave of absence for the next few episodes due to some personal reasons that I don't want to share with the public.
But not to worry, we can assure you that I, Talking Ben, will make sure that you guys are still getting your most accurate news from the Northwest.
And that will do it for us here on Northwestern Mail. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.